Hey, what's up? My name is Syleena Johnson, and this is Voices. I am one of those people who thinks that I can do anything because I know who I am and whose I am. I know that as God's child, I can accomplish my dreams and goals. That wasn't always the case, okay? It was really when I started coming out of my late 30s into early 40s that I realized, you know, it's time now to just really start taking control of your dreams and goals and taking control of your wants and needs and put others' wants and needs to the side. Because you're not living your best life because you're always trying to make sure that other people's lives are that they're living theirs, you know. So I always wanted to bodybuild ever since, you know, maybe 21, 22 years old. And I just kept thinking I wasn't going to be able to do it. And so one day I just said, you know, I'm just going to do it. I have an album coming out. It's going to be tough. I was recording at the same time, recording album, flying back and forth because I live in Atlanta, but I recorded the entire album in Chicago. So I would leave Sister Circle Friday evening, get on a plane, fly in, and mind you, I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I was doing fasted cardio in the morning. And then I had a meal prep guy in Chicago who had my meals ready for me, Chef Grady. And then I would get to Chicago, go straight to the studio and record nonstop, no sleep, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because we had to, the goal was to try to get 2 to 3 songs in before I left, you know, in which I had to write most of the time. So that's work. And I knew it was gonna be hard. Plus, I was training, you know, I wanted to get down for the photo shoot anyway, the album cover shoot. But I was just like, you might as well just try to do it all at the same time and just get it popping. You know, it's gonna make you stronger, it's gonna build character, and you're gonna be happy and it's gonna be good for the album and everything else that you're doing. You're gonna be able to stay in shape and you're gonna be able to, you know, accomplish a dream and a goal that you've been wanting to do for many years. So it isn't something I just woke up one day and was like, out of nowhere, let's do bodybuilding. You know, it's something that was already in me that I had just didn't believe that I could do. Well, I had already pretty much been done with it as far as creating it, but it definitely taught me how strong I really am. And strong not like muscular-wise, strong mentally, because everything about bodybuilding, most of it, in any sport really, is mental. It's about 85% mental. Just like food, the food is 85% of any fitness regimen. You know, you cannot out-train bad eating. So if I could control my mind and the food, and you know, I'd have my slip-ups, I cheated yesterday, you know. But it's about knowing how to get back on and continue, because it's not, you know, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, you know what I'm saying? So it just taught me how resilient I was, which I was able to utilize that resilience in other parts of my life, you know, and allocate them towards being a mom, allocate them towards being a wife, and the mentality of some of the things, a better friend, a better daughter. You know, it made me more understanding as a person because I realized that I'm strong enough to do some of the things that maybe I thought I couldn't. Well, you know, if I could make it a cliff note, basically being a talk show host opened my eyes to a different side of the media, which taught me what's really going on in this society with my people, my culture, and women, the minorities and women, the less fortunate, and women, and where we play in all of it. You know, police brutality, we're killing our sons. LGBTQ community, obviously, there's all types of discrepancies and discrimination going on both sides of the fence, men and women. Again, if you're discriminating against the men, you're discriminating against their mamas. You're discriminating against women, you're discriminating against them and their mamas. So, and the daddies, but the mamas, because you came out our stomach. There's a different kind of bond there. And then just, you know, sexual abuse, mental abuse, pay disparity, all the things that women are suffering from. Type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Our African American women are dying behind that. Cancer, we're dying at alarming risk. The increase of hysterectomies has gone up in the African American woman in the community, African American community, as far as women are concerned. Recently, we did we had a doctor come on our show and talk about how they don't listen to black women at the doctor's office. So now we've gone underdiagnosed. My sister just beat stage 1 cancer. She had a lump in her breast. You know, the first time she said she had burning in her breast, they didn't listen to her. She also went through a stillbirth. You know what I'm saying? So there are so many things that go on with women, black women in particularly, that have not been paid proper attention to. And so I wanted to pay ode to them. I wanted to highlight us and basically inside of this album, lyrically, communicate to the world, not just women, but men and women, some of the things that we feel, some of the ways that some of the point of view, well, the point of view that we come from, that we're trying to come from, that is not being heard. So as an entertainer and a singer, one of my superpower is to do that through music. The gift that God gave me, we're supposed to use our gifts for service. So the gift that God gave me is to be able to speak and be a representative for the woman. You know, I feel like I've always been that. You know, I think that God gave me a specific sound of voice that is ear-catching, you know, because it was a double-edged sword. You sound old when you're 20 and it sounds like you're 35. Well, I had to sound different so that it could draw a deaf ear and then get them to listen to what I was saying, because I'm a writer before anything. And I'm always writing lyrics to empower, enlighten, educate, and inspire women. Low-key to myself, like, man, I low-key. I really get down with dude. Like, he got it all going on, you know. But see, that's the misconception. And I'm so glad that as a man, you recognize the misconception that society has, that if a woman is strong, that she can't love on her man and can't submit to him. Submission does not mean giving up your power. Submission, you have to have power to submit. You have to be strong to submit. It takes strength to be able to allow someone else to lead. But the best way to be a leader is to know how to follow. Ooh, that was a word right then. I just snapped on that. But because we are, well, if you want to go real deep, because black men and women have been divided since slavery, and women have been trained to look at their men as weak, we feel that submitting is a form of weakness. Why would I submit to a man why would I submit to somebody that's weaker than me? Why would I submit to a man that don't love on me? And then because you all double down on your weak characteristics by cheating and being abusive and things of that nature, simply because of your upbringing historically, you're not making it any better for us to see the way and the light and truth. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, we need to worship our man, but in order for us to work together, we're gonna have to love on him a little extra, because the black man is public enemy #1. So he got the egg, he got the seed, okay? He got the seed, we the fertilizer, he got the seed, we the ground, okay? So at the end of the day, we have to take care of our men, and we have to love on them just as much so they can reciprocate that. Now, does that mean they're gonna do it all the time? They're humans at the end of the day. We're not always gonna be perfect all the time. But we cannot, and see, Fantasia did a post about this on her social media, which I actually liked. It was her and her husband, and they were talking about submission, and they was getting all this feedback and stuff. But if you follow God and you're a Christian, you kind of understand the biblical, philosophy behind that anyway. But in real life, true tea, whether or not you follow the Bible or whatever it is, you have to allow your man to lead if you want him to be the leader of the household. If you want him to lead you, you have to allow that to happen. And in some instances, you just got to give him his props. Man, you make me a believer. But at the end of the day, you make me a believer, which means this man is doing the work. He's loving on me. He's taking care of me. He's making me feel beautiful. He's being a great father. He's facilitating an environment where I can thrive, me and my children. He's that dude. So yes, if you that dude, I got to give you your props. I got to tell you that you got it all going on, And I think that some women are afraid to do that because they might fear that they'll lose that from him if they give him too much. But I think that most men thrive, their egos thrive off of accolades, like almost like when I have sons. So when I tell them how much of a good job they're doing, oh my God, they do it even more. So that's what we need to do to our black men. We need to big them up like they the bomb, because then they will be even more of the bomb, especially now in this climate with what's going on in our country. We have to cleave together. So, you know, that's just that's just a piece of what the Woman album provides. I'm very, very glad that you pointed that out. The Woman album though, oh, I didn't even go on Woman album. Woman album you can play from beginning to end at the barbecue. Woman is turned from the beginning all the way down to the end. And you can get that January 31st, but you can pre-order it right now and get 3 gratis singles. And actually tomorrow, there's another gratis single that comes out with myself and Q Parker called Home, which is another dope record that shows the love between man and woman, saying, and what I love about this record so much, this is one of my favorite records on the album, both of them, both entities are saying, you're home. You don't have to look anywhere else. You good. You can rest now, which is a good time. Everybody want to rest. So that comes out tomorrow, and if you just pre-order it, so you get 4 records already just by pre-ordering it right now. But it comes out officially January 31st everywhere, all over the world. On E1, Nashville. Yay!